Hello everyone, it's Brian in Toronto with you for another video, and this one reports on an amazing thing that happened to me yesterday, and that is I received what I believe to be the first package or piece of mail that I have ever received from Australia. Fantastic. So I'm going to talk about that. This is from Ben Rankins, who is a member of the vinyl community. He's been in the vinyl community for a while, and it's a strong supporter of all things Australian related to music. So, but let's talk about Australia first, because as we all know, it's upside down. Home to the Sydney Opera House, home to a lot of bouncy animals with pouches like kangaroos, tree kangaroos, koalas, and stuff like that. So, a really interesting landscape of animals from there. Also, from what I understand, a whole host of deadly venomous snakes and insects. So sounds like a wonderful place to live. Now Ben's what I thought was he was going to send me was a CD, but it turns out to have been 5 CDs. So let's also think about music in Australia because it's home or was the origin of so many important bands that we all know and love, like In Excess, Men at Work, Crowded House, Kylie Minogue, Eurogliders, Bee Gees, Little River Band, Air Supply, Natalie Imbruglia, Keith Urban, so many unbelievable Australian musicians and bands. So that's something to remember. So, as I mentioned, he sent me a little note about the contents, and I will say that I've only listened to 2 of these CDs once, so I can't say a lot about them, but I will say that I enjoyed them, and I listened to them, in the living room with things being cooked and kids running around. So I didn't get a chance to sit down and have a deep listen, but I will. So what he sent first of all was this CD from his band Push Button Auto. This is called like like a Nerve from 2008. Just get your old eyes on that. I think I would have been able to read this better in 2008. Anyway, so I say, listen to this one. Now, apparently, Ben sings a couple songs on these the Push Button Audio tracks, but I haven't listened deeply enough to know which ones they are yet. But I'm going to try and figure that out. The other Push Button Audio one is History is Made at Night. Now, this one doesn't have a date in Discogs. It says unknown, and there's no date on here, so I can't really tell you when it came out. But so far, I would say very enjoyable rock music, or indie rock. I'm not sure how you describe it, but I enjoyed these both. And to my surprise, he included 3 DIY homemade type of CDs. The first one is called History of Rock and Roll 1980s, which is here. You can see a track list. And if you have spent any amount of time watching Ben's channel, some of these artists will be known to you. The Birthday Party, Hunters and Collectors, Mental as Anything. I have a couple records by those. What's the Go-Betweens, of course. Nick Cave, Celibate Rifles. So all of those have been mentioned for sure on his channel. And usually what I try to do is listen to some of the stuff that he mentions. I sort of fall behind, but sometimes I pause his videos and check out some songs as he's mentioning them. This one is A History of Rock and Roll, the glorious 90s. And again, if you have spent any time on his channel, you'll recognize some of these artists. Be Suburban, The Aints, Ed Cooper. Just picking out some that I recall. There we go. And lastly, History of Rock in the 90s with a bit of the 00s. Another DIY CD. So Roland S. Howard, I remember Ben mentioning him. So lots of cool things. There we go. So I haven't listened to these 3 yet, but I will. And I just wanted to say thank you, Ben, for sending these things all the way to Canada. And to everyone else, if you don't know Ben's channel, you should definitely go and check it out. I mean, I find it really disorienting because he focuses on Australian music, some of which I know, but most of which I don't know. For example, King Gizzard. I mean, I know some of their songs. My kids love Rattlesnake. We play that maybe too often. So yeah, I know some of the music, but a lot of it is like an alternative universe of things I've never heard of before. So it's interesting that there's so much music that we never got exposed to over here. Just the major exports from Australia came here, I guess. But anyway, I will leave a link to Ben's channel. You'll find it very interesting. And thanks again for sending this to me. I will listen to it more closely. And that's all for today. And thanks for watching.